Welcome to the new video, Old Cryptocoin, the story of the Washington Quarter, often associated with the idea of liberty and American pride, is one of the most fascinating journeys in the history of American coinage. For collectors, historians, and everyday Americans, the quarter dollar is far more than just 25 cents. It is a small piece of metal that carries the spirit of a nation, its traditions, and its values. When people talk about the Liberty State quarter dollar, they're often referring to the rich symbolism connected to the American ideals of freedom, independence, and unity. The quarter dollar has circulated to the hands of millions of Americans for decades, witnessing countless moments of everyday life while quietly telling the story of the United States. The design most people recognize today features George Washington on the front of the coin. This design first appeared in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of Washington, one of the most respected leaders in American history. His portrait replaced the earlier standing Liberty design and marked the beginning of a new era for the quarter dollar. Washington was chosen not only because of his leadership during the American Revolution, but also because he symbolized honesty, strength, and dedication to the country. These qualities perfectly matched the message that American coins were meant to represent. The quarter dollar itself is produced by the United States Mint, the official body responsible for creating American coins. Established in 1792, the Mint has produced billions of coins over the centuries, each with its own design, purpose, and historical context. The Washington quarter became one of the most successful coin designs ever created, remaining in circulation for decades with only small changes to its appearance. The simple yet powerful portrait of George Washington, combined with inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, gave the coin a timeless look that Americans quickly grew to recognize. When examining a Liberty-themed quarter dollar, collectors often start by studying the details of the obverse side. The obverse shows Washington's profile facing left, with the word Liberty placed above his head. This single word carries enormous significance. Liberty represents the core principle on which the United States was founded, the belief that people should live free from oppression and have the right to shape their own future. By placing the word prominently on the coin, the designers ensured that every American who used the quarter would be reminded of the nation's founding ideals. The reverse side of earlier Washington quarters features a powerful image of a bald eagle, a national symbol of the United States. The eagle stands with its wings spread wide, holding arrows and olive branches in its talons. This design represents both strength and peace. The arrows symbolize the country's ability to defend itself, while the olive branches represent a desire for peace and cooperation. Together, these elements create a powerful message. The United States values peace but will remain strong and ready to protect its freedom. Over the decades, the quarter dollar became one of the most widely used coins in the United States. It was used in vending machines, parking meters, laundry machines, and everyday purchases. Because of this widespread use, the coin became deeply connected to daily American life. People often carried quarters in their pockets without thinking much about them, yet each coin carried historical meaning, an artistic design that reflected the country's identity. One of the most exciting developments in the history of the quarter came in 1999 with the launch of the 50-state quarters program. This program completely transformed how people viewed the quarter dollar. Instead of a single reverse design, the United States Mint began releasing new quarters each year that celebrated different states across the country. Each state received its own unique design, representing important symbols, landmarks, or historical moments connected to that state. The State Quarters program quickly became one of the most successful coin programs in American history. Millions of people who had never collected coins before suddenly became interested in searching for the new designs. Families, children, and collectors began saving quarters in special albums, trying to complete the full set of all 50 states. This created a nationwide treasure hunt that lasted nearly a decade and introduced a new generation to the world of coin collecting. Every state quarter still featured George Washington on the front, maintaining the classic look of the Washington quarter. However, the reverse side changed with each release, showcasing images that represented each state's heritage. For example, some coins featured famous landmarks, while others displayed animals, historical figures, or cultural symbols that reflected the identity of the state. These designs helped teach Americans about the diversity and history of their own country. Collectors quickly noticed that not all quarters were equal in value. While most state quarters were worth only 25 cents, certain rare examples became extremely valuable due to minting errors, low mintage numbers, or exceptional condition. Coins graded in near-perfect condition by professional grading services could sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This possibility of discovering a valuable coin in everyday change added excitement to the hobby. Another important factor that affects the value of a Liberty State quarter dollar is the mint mark. Mint marks indicate where the coin was produced. Most Washington quarters are minted in Philadelphia Mint or Denver Mint, and their coins carry small p or d marks near the date. Some special collector versions are produced at the San Francisco Mint, usually marked with an S. Coins from different mints can vary slightly in rarity and value, depending on how many were produced. The material used to create the quarter has also changed over time. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were made from 90% silver. However, due to rising silver prices, the United States government switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This new composition allowed the mint to continue producing coins without the high cost of precious metals. Although modern quarters no longer contain silver, they remain popular among collectors because of their historical significance and wide variety of designs. Coin grading plays an important role in determining the value of a quarter dollar. Grading refers to the process of evaluating a coin's condition, from heavily worn to nearly perfect. Professional grading companies examine coins carefully, looking at factors such as luster, scratches, strike quality, and overall preservation. Coins that receive high grades, such as MS-65 or higher, are considered extremely desirable among collectors because they show very little wear and maintain their original mint shine. The Liberty theme that appears on many American coins reflects the nation's deep commitment to freedom. Liberty is not just a word on a coin. It represents the spirit of the American people and their long struggle for independence. From the early days of the nation to the modern era, American coins have served as miniature works of art that communicate national values. The quarter dollar is a perfect example of this tradition, combining historical symbolism with everyday practicality. Step 1. The 1992 D. Washington quarter dollar is a fascinating coin for collectors and history lovers alike. When you first look at this coin, it may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but behind its simple appearance lies a story connected to American history, coin design, minting technology, and the world of coin collecting. In this video, we will explore the history, design, minting process, and collector value of the 1992 D. Washington quarter dollar, and why this coin continues to attract attention from both beginner and experienced collectors. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design became so popular that it remained in circulation for decades. By the time the 1992 D quarter was produced, the Washington quarter had already been a familiar part of American currency for 60 years. Millions of these coins passed through the hands of everyday Americans, used for purchases, vending machines, parking meters, and countless daily transactions. The D mint mark on the 1992 D quarter indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has played an important role in production of United States coins since the early 20th century. Coins struck at the Denver Mint are identified by the small letter D located on the front of the coin near George Washington's ponytail. This mint mark helps collectors identify where the coin was produced and can sometimes affect the rarity and value of the coin. Looking closely at the obverse or front side of the 1992 D quarter, you will see the famous portrait of George Washington facing left. This portrait was originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan. Above Washington's head appears the word Liberty, representing one of the core ideals of the United States. Below the portrait is the year 1992, marking the year the coin was minted. To the left of the portrait appears the phrase, "In God We Trust," a motto that appears on many United States coins. The reverse side of the coin features a powerful and symbolic design. In the center of the reverse is a bald eagle with its wings spread wide, representing strength, freedom, and the spirit of the nation. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing readiness to defend the country. Beneath the arrows are two olive branches, representing peace. Above the eagle appear the words United States of America, while below it appears the denomination $quarter. The 1992 D. Washington quarter was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition. This means a coin is made from layers of different metals. The outer layers are composed of a mixture of copper and nickel, giving the coin its silver-like appearance, while the inner core is primarily copper. This type of metal composition became standard for U.S. quarters starting in 1965, when the government moved away from using silver in circulating coins. The weight of the quarter is approximately 5.67 grams, and its diameter measures about 24.3 millimeters. These measurements have remained consistent for Washington quarters for many years, ensuring compatibility with coin-operated machines and maintaining consistency in U.S. currency. During 1992, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters to meet the needs of the economy. Because so many were minted most 1992, D quarters are still fairly common today. However, condition plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin. While circulated examples may only be worth their face value of 25 cents, coins in uncirculated condition can be much more desirable to collectors. Collectors often look for coins with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal marks or scratches. These high-quality coins are often graded by professional grading services and placed in protective holders. Coins graded in higher mint state levels, such as MS-65 or higher, can be especially appealing to collectors who are building high-quality collections. Another interesting aspect of collecting the 1992 D quarter is searching for mint errors. Mint errors occur when something unusual happens during the coin production process. These errors might include off-center strikes, double dies, or other unusual features. While most coins are produced perfectly, a small number of errors can escape into circulation, and these coins can sometimes become valuable collector items. Coin collecting is often described as a treasure hunt, and the 1992 D quarter is a perfect example of why collectors enjoy searching through rolls of coins or old collections. Even though the coin itself is common, finding a beautiful high-grade example or a rare mint error can be exciting and rewarding. Another factor that makes the 1992 D quarter interesting is its place in the broader timeline of American coinage. The early 1990s were a time just before the United States Mint introduced one of its most popular coin programs, the 50-State Quarters program, which began in 1999. The Washington quarters produced in 1992 represent the final years of the classic design before the major design changes that came later. For many collectors, coins like the 1992 D quarter represent a connection to everyday American life in the early 1990s. These coins were used during a time when the country was experiencing rapid technological change, economic growth, and cultural transformation. Holding one of these coins today can feel like holding a small piece of history from that era. When collectors examine a 1992 D quarter, they often use magnifying tools to inspect the coin's details. Under magnification, you can see the fine lines in Washington's hair, the feathers of the eagle, and the precise lettering of the inscriptions. These details reveal the craftsmanship that goes into creating each coin. Some collectors choose to collect Washington quarters by year and mint mark, building complete sets that include coins from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. In such collections, the 1992 D quarter holds an important place as part of the early 1990 series. Another interesting aspect is the proof version of the 1992 quarter, which was produced at the San Francisco Mint. Proof coins are specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in coins with mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs. While the 1992 D quarter was intended for circulation, proof versions of the 1992 quarter were sold directly to collectors as part of special mint sets. If you happen to find a 1992 D quarter in your pocket change, it might be worth taking a closer look. While most examples are common, there is always the possibility of discovering a well-preserved coin or a rare error that could be worth more than face value. Many collectors enjoy searching through rolls of quarters from banks, hoping to discover hidden gems. Proper storage is also important for anyone who collects coins. Coins should be kept in protective holders, coin flips, or albums to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Avoid touching the surfaces of coins with bare fingers, as oils on the skin can affect the coin's appearance over time. The world of coin collecting is full of stories, discoveries, and historical connections, and coins like the 1992 D. Washington quarter play a small but meaningful role in that story. Whether you are an experienced collector or someone just beginning to explore the hobby, coins from everyday circulation can open the door to a fascinating journey through history. In the end, the 1992 D. Washington quarter. The last step story of the Washington quarter, especially the 1993 P. Liberty quarter dollar, is a fascinating journey through American history, culture, and coin collecting. When we talk about the 1993 P. quarter, we are talking about a coin that was produced during an era when everyday coins were still quietly circulating through millions of hands, pockets, and cash registers across the United States. The letter P on this coin represents the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historic minting facilities in the United States. For decades, the Philadelphia Mint produced coins without mint marks, but beginning in 1980, the P mint mark began to appear on quarters, allowing collectors to easily identify where the coin was struck. By 1993, the Mint was producing hundreds of millions of quarters every year to meet the demand of a growing economy, and the 1993 P quarter became part of that massive production. The design of the coin is based on the classic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States and one of the most respected figures in American history. Washington's image has appeared on the quarter since 1932, when the coin was introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of his birth. The portrait was designed by the sculptor John Flanagan, whose artistic vision helped create one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. On the front of the coin, also known as the obverse, you can see Washington's profile facing left, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1993. Just beneath the date sits a small but important mint mark, P, which tells collectors that the coin was struck in Philadelphia. Turning the coin over reveals the iconic reverse design that remained on quarters for decades before the state quarters program began in 1999. The reverse shows a powerful eagle with its wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend the nation. Beneath the eagle are olive branches representing peace, while the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and quarter dollar surround the design. This powerful imagery reflects the values and symbolism that the United States wanted to project through its coinage during the 20th century. In 1993, the United States Mint produced an enormous number of quarters to keep up with circulation demand. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck more than 645 million quarters that year. Because of this high mintage, the 1993 P quarter is generally considered a common coin in circulated condition. Many people may even have had one in their pocket change without realizing its potential interest to collectors. However, the story becomes much more interesting when we look at coins that have survived in exceptional condition. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, carefully examine coins to determine their grade or level of preservation. Coins that were heavily used in circulation often show scratches, wherein fading details, which lowers their collectible value. On the other hand, coins that remain in near-perfect condition, especially those graded as mint state by professional grading services, can become surprisingly valuable. A 1993 P quarter that has never been circulated, meaning it was preserved shortly after leaving the mint, may display bright luster, sharp details, and no visible wear. Professional grading companies, such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company, evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS-60 is considered uncirculated but may still show minor marks, while a coin graded MS-67 or higher is considered exceptionally well preserved. For the 1993 P quarter, coins graded at the highest levels, such as MS-67 or MS-68, can be quite rare because most coins from that year were produced for everyday circulation rather than careful preservation. Another factor that can increase the value of a coin is the presence of mint errors. During the minting process, coins pass through large presses that strike the design onto blank metal discs called planchets. Occasionally, mistakes occur, resulting in unusual coins that collectors find fascinating. Some of the known errors for quarters from the early 1990s include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and die cracks. If a 1993 P quarter shows a dramatic mint error, its value could increase significantly compared to a normal coin. Collectors also pay close attention to the condition of the coin's surface and the strength of the strike. Coins struck with fresh dies often show sharper details, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. These details can be subtle, but experienced collectors know exactly where to look. For example, strong lines in the eagle's wings or clear definition in Washington's hair curls can make a coin more desirable. The metal composition of the 1993 P quarter is another interesting aspect. Since 1965, most U.S. quarters have been made from a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than silver. The coin consists of a pure copper core sandwich between layers of copper and nickel alloy. This gives the coin its familiar silver-colored appearance while keeping production costs lower than using precious metals. Although the 1993 P quarter does not contain silver, it still holds value for collectors due to its historical context and potential rarity in high grades. When we consider the broader context of the early 1990s, the United States was experiencing significant economic and cultural changes. Coins like the 1993 P quarter circulated through everyday transactions, buying groceries, paying for parking meters, or dropping into vending machines. Each coin carried with it a small piece of national history, passing from one person to another across cities, towns, and states. The year 1993 also sits just a few years before the introduction of one of the most successful coin programs in American history, the 50 State Quarters program. When that program began, the traditional Washington quarter design used for decades, including the design seen on the 1993 P quarter, was replaced by rotating state-themed designs. As a result, quarters in the earlier era became part of the classic Washington quarter series, which collectors continue to study and collect today. For collectors building a complete set of Washington quarters from 1965 to 1998, the 1993 P coin is an essential piece of the puzzle. Although it is not rare in circulated condition, finding one with exceptional eye appeal and high mint state grading can still be challenging. Many collectors search through bank rolls of quarters hoping to find coins that were set aside decades ago and remain in pristine condition. Another interesting element of coin collecting is the hunt itself. Some collectors visit coin shows, coin shops, or online marketplaces searching for specific coins to add to their collection. Others enjoy the thrill of searching through pocket change or unopened rolls of coins from the bank. Occasionally, a collector may discover a nearly perfect coin that has been hiding in circulation for years. The value of a 1993 P quarter can vary widely depending on its condition. In worn, circulated condition, the coin typically remains worth its face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated coins may sell for several dollars, and coins graded at the highest levels can sometimes reach significantly higher prices at auctions. Exceptional coins with perfect or near-perfect surfaces are especially prized among as raw.